this? Ah!
Meh. What's up, Doc?
Bugs! Bring it here, man.
How are you, Malcolm?
I'm great, Lee. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Certainly.
What do you hope fans of the original will get out of this sequel?
Well, I hope they give it a chance. You know, I understand they're very nostalgic for, the original, but this is a different movie. It's a different time. It's still, very family friendly. It's got something for everybody. There's a strong message of being oneself. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's got great spectacle. So I hope that they give it a chance and have a great time at the movie theater, because otherwise they'll be missing out.
What's your personal relationship to Space Jam? Were you a fan of the original?
And the first time I saw it was about 2 years ago when I first started working on Space Jam. So my relationship isn't with the original Space Jam. My relationship with the tunes dates back to when, Saturday morning cartoons, when I was a young lad and watching them for hours on end. I always had a love of the tunes. I always loved their humor. And so, and I love basketball. Huge basketball fan. I'm a fan of LeBron's. So, melding the two and also, bringing it up to date with all the visual effects that we have, CGI animation, 2D animation, and then, setting the movie in cyberspace, against an algorithm, bringing it up to very much up to date and of today. I thought that was the thing that we wanted to really achieve with this movie.
And the animation techniques have obviously changed a lot in 25 years, but what were some of the challenges that you found bringing live action and animation together? Because am I right in thinking this is your first time working with animation?
This is my first time working with animation. And whereas some things have changed, other things, remain the same. The 2D animation is still the same process. It's hand drawn, characters, and the tunes, are best represented, as 2D characters. There was an education and a learning curve that the ILM team had to make to get the squash and stretch and the expression that the tunes in 2D had and translated to 3D. So, for me, it was an education as well, trying to figure out how to incorporate this is, from my perspective as a live action filmmaker, trying to meld those two, like that hybrid live action plus animation. And, after a while, you start to understand that these are just storytelling techniques, and that the people that are involved and that have been doing it for years are there to help you achieve your vision. And so that's exactly what they did. Because, I had a great team around me.
And is it still a case of, tennis balls on sticks for LeBron to act opposite? Or
You know what? More or less. I mean, we had these cardboard cutouts of the tunes and the actual heights, and then we'd have these, these sticks with the characters' faces on them. The visual effects team could, easily take out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes LeBron was like, "Okay, I got it. I know where they are, where their heights are." So, we didn't need them. So it was great, to set up the shot and then have a couple of runs at it, and then he'd be fine.
And Warner Brothers obviously has an extensive library of characters and films. And how do you even begin to whittle down who should be included, or did you just include them all?
You don't even know what all is there, right? You just kind of you get presented a bunch of choices, any director would. It's like, okay, here's the things you get to choose from, and you say, oh, that's Warner Brothers. Oh, that's Warner Brothers. yeah, we need that. Oh, we need this. And so, we wanted to make sure that our crowd, had, plenty of nefarious characters in it, and also fun characters like the Flintstones and the Jetsons and, Space Ghost and Dick Dastardly and Penelope Pitstop and King Kong and Iron Giant, and just put them all in the crowd at the game.
Was there one personal favorite that you said, I just have to include this one?
Not really. I mean, I think if anything, probably like Yogi Bear or Captain Caveman, those were both kind of favorites of mine. Magilla Gorilla is another one.
What boxes does a film project have to tick to get you really excited about it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, and I think what drew me to this was the story of this father and son being the emotional backbone of this movie, the emotional spine, because there's visual effects and there's animation and like there's explosions and flying monkeys and all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about characters. Do I care about these people? Do I want to spend, you know, an hour and a half with them? Do I want to go on this journey with them? And I think that's what's most important to me. Do I want to tell the story? So like that's first and foremost. And then, you know, working with great people, you know, not working with people that like are going to give you a hard time, because it's a collaborative process. And, you know, you want, you know, good, smart, innovative people, funny people, easygoing people, you know, to be on the set. So that's what I really look for.
And there is a really great message at the heart of this film. Can you tell me a little bit more about what it means to do you?
You know, I think that's an important message for kids and for adults. You know, I think too often we as parents, you know, want our children to be a certain way, the way that we want them to be molded. I'm certainly guilty of that. I'm sure there's plenty of parents who are. There's some who are much better at being a parent than others. But, you know, it's that constant push and pull of like, you want to guide your children, you know, and put them on the right path, but they have their own personalities and they're going to, you know, do what they're going to do. Hopefully you've taught them enough, you've influenced them enough to where they're going to do something great and progressive and, you know, be able to take care of themselves and, you know, and hopefully something innovative like Dom does in this movie. So doing you is like, you know, a positive thing.
I love how meta this film is on all levels. There's a line that I just loved where LeBron says, athletes acting never goes well. And I think that's hilarious. But how did you bring the inner actor out of LeBron? Because he's no stranger to being in films. He's done a few now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done a lot of films. You know, look, LeBron has been, you know, in the spotlight and, you know, been asked a lot of questions on camera, you know, for a very long time, you know, since he was 18. Even before that. And so, you know, he's used to it. He's done lots of commercials, a lot of experience, you know, acting and pretending. And so I think he was, you know, because of that, you know, he was able to access that part of him, you know, I would think pretty readily. Working with him was really, you know, great. You know, I didn't feel like I was like, oh my gosh, when is he going to get this? You know, he was really.
You did well.
He did very well. You know, he's funny. He likes to have fun and very open to direction. So, you know, when I wanted him to get a little bit more emotional, he was able to do it.
I'll finish up by asking, which Looney Tunes character is your favorite?
I'd have to say it's Daffy Duck.
Why is that?
Sarcastic, smart, different levels of his humor, droll, but also, you know, it goes from 0 to 60 pretty quickly. I don't know. He just always cracks me up.
Thank you so much for your time today, Malcolm. I'll leave it there.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Good to see you.
Thank you.